Okay, we're going to go through complementary and supplementary angles. And basically, angles are everywhere you go. Everywhere you look, wherever you see two lines bending, there's an angle. You're going to see it everywhere you go. Okay? And like a door, if you open a door, it kind of looks like here's a door. And when you open it, you get that angle right here. There's an angle. Or there's an angle right there on a door. The angle is the actual where it connects with one part, and it has a little hinge, and they call that hinge a vertex. All right, so look around. You might see some angles. Wherever there's a square, there's an angle, and there's a 90-degree angle. All right? So let's think about angles. There's two main angles I want. Well, there's actually three. There's one when the door is closed. There's no angle. Okay, if the door is closed, this is a wall, okay, or a line. The door is closed, and then and here's the door. The door is like right here, okay. And then when the door opens a little bit, you get an angle like this. And it opens just a bit. Here's the doorknob. I'm opening it up and closing it. All right, so I have this line, and in there it's open, and here is my angle, okay? And sometimes you have a door and the angle opens and it's perfectly perpendicular, and it forms this little 90. It opens up this way and it has a 90-degree angle like that, okay? And then sometimes your door opens and you're like this, and it opens all the way up and it's flat, and this goes away and it's a flat line. Okay, so that's just kind of like a basic. I guess if I had a door and I could show you, I would show you that. But anyway, there's three types of angles that we're going to be looking at. One is a perfect 90-degree angle, and this right here is the symbol for a 90-degree angle. That means the measure of this angle from here to here using a protractor would equal 90 degrees. Okay, and this is the symbol for a 90-degree angle. So if this angle from here to here is 90 degrees, that means this angle from here to here is also going to be 90 degrees. So this angle here measures 90 degrees. And then sometimes you'll have an angle that is partially open, okay, like that. And let's say this angle here, and I don't see a 90-degree symbol in this one. Let's say that this here is 80 degrees, okay. That means that this angle from here to here, if you notice, and it makes kind of like a semicircle there. That means that this angle over here is 100 degrees. Because this angle right here plus this angle are going to add up to equal 180 degrees. These two angles add up to equal 180 degrees. Because 90 and 90 is 100. Sometimes you'll get an angle like this, going this way. And let's say this one is 30 degrees. If this is 30 degrees right here, then all the way over here has to equal 180. This would be 150 degrees, because 150 plus 30 is 180. 100 plus 80 is 180. 90 plus 90 is 180. Okay? So this angle plus this angle, this one right here, this angle just from here to here is a 90-degree angle. And these two angles from here to here together are 180 degrees. This one would be 100, for instance, and this would be 80. Okay, so now, sometimes you might want to they split this angle up by a ray. So let's say this angle was 40 from here to here, then this piece of the angle from here to here is going to be 50, and 40 plus 50 equals 90. When you have two angles and they add up to equal 90, they call that complementary. When I have two angles and they're connected to this straight line, those are equal 180 degrees. Those are called supplementary. All right, so complementary and supplementary. They both are two angles. Okay, let's look at this one more time. So if I have something that looks like this, and I said this is 60, then this would be 30. That means this angle plus this angle equals 90 degrees. And there's my hint right there. Those are complementary. That's what they're called. They're called complementary. And then, you can hear my dog back there. If I have this angle, these two angles right here, this angle plus this angle, there's two angles, angle 1, angle 2. Let's say this was 70, then this would be 110. 110 plus 70 is going to equal 180. So this angle and this angle are called two angles together. They are called supplementary. And that's all we have to be concerned about right now. Two angles that equal 180 degrees are supplementary. 280s that add up to equal 90 degrees are complementary. Okay, so we have these 8 angles practice. And all I want you to do is tell me, do you think they're complementary or supplementary angles? There's two angles put together. You want to find the two angles. Tell me if they're complementary or supplementary. All right. So, number 1. There's this angle, and this angle. So there's two angles. Angle 1 and angle 2. And we notice that symbol. So would you call these two angles complementary or supplementary? Well, they equal 90 degrees. So these are two angles, angle 1, angle 2. They're complementary. Okay? Let's look at this. I have this angle right here and this angle right here. There's two angles, and do you notice there's a 90-degree symbol right here. So then this side is also 90 degrees. 1, 2 angles equal 90 degrees. So these are also complementary. And you could also notice that with the 90-degree symbol there. Okay, let's look at this one. You have this angle here, one angle, and two angles, and they're connected by that symbol right there. So these two angles are two angles that add up to be 90 degrees, so they are complementary. Okay, let's go over here. I see this angle here. I see another angle. There's two angles right there. And there's a 90-degree symbol right here, which means this over here is also 90 degrees. So these two angles together would be called complementary. Okay, so those are 4 complementary angles. Let's look at these. Here is where the angles meet, right there. And they are connected to a straight line. So I like to draw a little arch that connects them together, just like that. And I like to shade them in because that's just what I like to do. And I see a little semicircle is formed there. And when I can form that semicircle, that means that these two angles are supplementary. Okay. Oh, there goes my dog. All right, let's find where these angles are formed. I see, here's my vertex right here between the two of them. And they are connected together like that. And I can make a little semicircle there. So when I can make that little semicircle like that, that means these two angles are supplementary. Sorry about my sloppy handwriting. All right, here we go. We have this line here, we're connecting to that one, which means that this angle here is connecting to B, and this is between them. And I could shade this all in right here, and there's my semicircle. So that means these two angles, this one and this big angle here, are supplementary. You could just write sup if you remember supplementary. Okay, now I'm going to look at these two angles here, and I notice that angle B, let me use this color. Angle B is connected to 28. They're separated by this ray right here. And I can color in my little semicircle here. So that means that this angle and this angle, if I add them together, they're going to equal 180 degrees, and they are also supplementary. Okay? So take a look at these. Complementary, there's a 90-degree symbol, 90-degree symbol, 90-degree symbol, 90-degree symbol. Two angles that equal 90 degrees are complementary. And notice I can make these little semicircles here to connect those two lines or angles, and those are supplementary. Okay, so here we have 4 different problems. Let's look at the first one. We have 2 angles. We have this angle right here and this angle right here. And I could shade that in. So would those 2 angles be complementary or supplementary? Well, that means that this angle plus this angle have to equal 180. So these angles are supplementary. I'm going to put S for supplementary. If this is 100 and they have to equal 180, then this X is going to be 80. All right, so let's look at this one. This angle right here, I notice a 90-degree symbol. So that means that this angle plus this angle have to equal 90. So these 2 angles are complementary, C for complementary. That means this has to be 40. Let's look at this. Let's do 90 minus 50 is 40. Up here, 180 minus 100 is 80. Okay, now let me show you the algebra way now. Let's take a look at this. This one, I notice a 90-degree angle right there. okay? That means that this angle plus this angle are going to add up to equal 90, and they're complementary. So that means if I'm going to use algebra now, that means this angle, x plus 30, is going to equal 90. Look at that, there's some algebra. Now how can we solve that problem? You know how to solve a one-step equation. Subtract 30 on both sides. X will equal 60. So that means that this x right here is 60, and 60 plus 30 is 90. Let's look at this one. Two angles. I have this angle here and this angle here. And those also form a little semicircle there. So these must be supplementary, which add up to equal 180. And using algebra, I could take this x and this, that means this x and the 60 are going to add up to equal 180. And to solve that, just subtract 60 on both sides, and x will equal 20. 120. 120. Because, and this is 120, take a peek, 120 plus 60 equals 180. All right, so that's how we're going to be starting to use these angles. All right, so stop the video here and go back through, retake some notes, and try to understand this.